Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're an old subscriber and if you're just seeing my face for the first time, welcome, bro. Make sure you like and subscribe and join this family because we have the best time here. On that note, let's start the video. There are certain topics that I really do not like talking about publicly because a lot of people have their own opinions and you really do not know, you're not certain that, oh, this is the right thing to do, this is the right, but I've just had this pressure. I don't know why to really talk about this topic because I feel like this is a topic, this is something people don't really talk about. I heard people talk about it in certain ways or that I really do not agree with. So I'm going to talk about it, how I understand it. And if you have your own suggestions, do well to put them down in the comment section. So in this video, we're going to be talking about forgiveness and what it entails and just everything about forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, so that all of us, me included, we will get clarity on what forgiveness truly is. Like I said, my own perspective. In Christianity, obeying God is like the topmost thing, and God has already instructed us forgive, to forgive, to forgive. There are a lot of passages in the Bible where he said, forgive, forgive, forgive. So it's already an instruction. So whether we like it or not, whether we feel good about it or not, whether it hurts or not, whether like you feel like this person does not deserve forgiveness or not, you have to forgive. Number one, because it's an instruction from God. That is the first thing. Then in reality, we're not actually, you don't forgive the person because of the person or because the person deserves it in a way. You're forgiving the person for you. In reality, you're forgiving yourself because from the Bible, I'm going to write down passages in the Bible you can check out. They'll be in the description box. So, in the Bible, for you to gain forgiveness from God, what's the criteria? What do you have to pay? You have to forgive others. So in reality, you are not actually forgiving them. You're paving way for your own forgiveness. So in reality, you're doing yourself a favor. You're telling yourself, no, I'm letting go of this resentment. I'm letting go of this bad feeling. I'm letting go of this hurt. So I can pave a way for my own self, not for the other person to prosper, not for the other person to gain forgiveness from God or whatever, but for yourself. And there is no way in the Bible where it's written, oh, if this person do this particular thing to you, you shouldn't forgive because this one does not deserve forgiveness. In everything, like there is no, it's general. No matter what the person did to you, forgive. Let me just put it out there. When you choose not to forgive, it's like taking poison and expecting someone else to die. And you are also mad, like angry, dying, hurting when someone else is out there enjoying himself or herself. So why would you do yourself the favor? I know it can be hard, but when you have this mentality of I'm actually the one suffering, I have to set myself free. Forgiveness is not a weakness. Like sometimes, yes, it's really hard for you to actually like give up and be like, yeah, let me just let go of this, and you feel like you're the weak one. You are not. When you forgive, you're just telling yourself that I choose to obey God. I choose to let go of the grudges in me. I choose to set myself free. because you love yourself. Because I feel like forgiveness is even a self-love kind of thing. That's the way I think about it. Because if you love yourself, you won't allow another person to control your emotions, to control your relationship with God. Because when you have grudges against someone, you hold it in and you choose not to forgive, you choose not to let go, it's going to affect your relationship with God. It's going to affect a lot of things in your life. It's going to really, really affect, depending on how much you think the person hurts you. Because you can't bury negative feelings. Like people say, some people feel like, oh, I've forgotten about it, I don't care anymore about it, blah blah. But have you really forgiven the person? That is the question you have to ask yourself. If the person appear now, are you going to be mad? Are you going to be angry? Are you going to lash out? Are you going to start feeling the hurt again from the beginning? Are you going to, like, how are you going to feel actually? That is something you should ask yourself. It's not about forgetting. You can forget, but did you really forgive the person? Sometimes we forget without forgiving. Like sometimes they say forgive and forget, but me, I like to say just forgive. It doesn't matter if you still remember or not. You can still remember, but you know in your heart that you've forgiven. Because sometimes you need the remembrance in order for you not to fuck up or fall into the same trap again. I think the worst thing that we can do to ourselves is not forgiving ourselves. Sometimes people don't know that self forgiveness exists. It does. It really does. Forgiveness is not just for other people, yourself. Sometimes you have to forgive yourself for some things that you have done. Sometimes you have to forgive yourself before you even ask God for forgiveness or ask someone else for forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself. It's unfair to think that yes, we are humans and we make mistakes. And then you forget to realize that you are also human and you make mistakes and you deserve forgiveness. You think others deserve forgiveness. You also deserve forgiveness for yourself. Yes, you will hurt people. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. Yes, you're going to do something bad. But what you do, sometimes you don't even need another person's forgiveness aside your own forgiveness and God's forgiveness. It's unfair to hate yourself. It's unfair to judge your past because now you know better. You did the best you could. Oh, I always tell myself, I did the best I could with the knowledge and perspective I had when I did that. Yes, I know better now, but I can't change that. I can only forgive myself. I can't keep judging myself because even if the situation was still reversed, I might still do the same thing. Even if time was reversed, I will still do the same thing. I think even now, at this age, there are still things I do wrong. And maybe when I'm 30, I'm going to sit back and be like, oh, I should have done this better. I should have done this. I should have, you know. But that is life. You have to forgive because whatever you're doing, whatever you are doing it based on the knowledge that you have, the perspective that you have. So you have to do yourself the biggest favor to forgive yourself and let go of that anger that you have within yourself. Everybody makes mistakes, and so do you. What is the real forgiveness? That you had a fallout to someone or someone did something to you and you decide not to like be in communication or have a relationship with the person does not mean you haven't forgiven. Forgive with wisdom. Forgiveness comes with wisdom. You don't forgive blindly. Because when you forgive blindly, you're still going to fall into the same trap. You forgive with wisdom. You forgive and then you apply the wisdom. You can forgive someone and choose not to have the negativity around you. As long as you're not being bitter against them, but you choose not to because you know that when you're around them, it brings out, they don't bring out the best in you, they probably bring out the worst in you, or they put you in a type of position that you do not like and that you're not. They make you become someone that you don't want to be. So when you forgive, you have to be wise about it, because if not, you will keep repeating the cycle again and again and again, and that is not wise. When it comes to forgiveness, most of the time it really helps. You forgive easier when the person that actually wronged you comes to you and bare their hearts and tell you everything that they did and all of that, and how sorry they are, and then you forgive. It's easier. But what happens when the person doesn't ask for forgiveness, doesn't even acknowledge they are wrong? What can you do? Now I'm going to give you like something I do, because the thing is I do not expect everybody to um come to me and be like, oh, I did this to you, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I don't even go to them and be like, you did this to me. So this is, sometimes there are situations where you guys don't even meet again. But if you still want the friendship, you value the relationship, you can always go to the person and be like, yeah, you did this to me, you did that to me, and I forgive you. You don't even need them to apologize. Whether they apologize or not, you just forgive, yes. But what happens in situations where they are so strong-headed that they feel like they didn't do anything wrong to you? What I do is that I say to myself, like when someone wrongs me and I know that they really, really hurt me, I don't try to quote it. I don't try to bury it. I say it. I can even write it down sometimes. I say, this person did this to me. Write everything that happened and how I really feel about it. Like truthfully, honestly, I feel this type of way. I wish I can do this to them. I wish I can do this. This is really bad. You write it out. You say it. You really feel it. It helps you to let go. Sometimes you just need to let it out. Say it. And another thing that helps is also to make up stories that makes you feel better. Like sometimes people say that they want to do, what's that called? What's that called? Especially after a breakup, they still come together later. So I think I'll put it on the screen when I remember. When I remember. So before they can move on. That is trash. I think it is trash. Use your head. Make up stories in your head that makes you feel better. For example, this is, you're not lying to yourself. Just make up stories that make you feel better. There are times, okay, let's use a relationship for example. You broke up with this guy, you guys broke up, or he broke your heart, whatever. Maybe you know why you guys broke up. Maybe you did something wrong, or maybe something happened. Maybe you actually know what happened, you know why it led to the breakup, or maybe you don't. It just happened. What can you do? You can just tell yourself, like sometimes I can be like, this happened for a reason. Maybe I'm not the one for him, or maybe he's not the one for me. He's not the one for me, obviously, because if he was the one for me, it would have worked out. Obviously, he's not. And I think I deserve someone better. He doesn't deserve me, whether in friendships, in relationships. And sometimes you give excuses too, like saying, okay, maybe this happened because of this, whatever makes you feel better, because you deserve to feel better. Leave it. It doesn't matter. It's not anybody's business. You believe it and you move on. So how do you know you've truly forgiven someone? Hmm. Tricky. Tricky. I put down some things that actually help me to know that yes, I have truly forgiven the person. First of all, the first thing is, what thoughts do you have towards them? When you think about them, yes, they've hurt you. They hurt you. What do you think of them? Do you think of them with hate, with so much, like you feel like you can kill them, shred them? How do you feel? And let me just put it out there that you've forgiven someone doesn't always take away the hurt that you feel, or the pain, or the anger that you have. Sometimes when you forgive, you still feel the hurt, you still feel the pain, you still feel the anger towards them. That is where God comes in. You have to pray. You've done your part. You know that you have forgiven, but you still feel this type of way. You have to ask God to like help you. And this is something I am so grateful for, that we can ask God for anything. I know how many times like I prayed for this. Even when I pray for it, I'm like, God, is this even possible? Because this is like my feelings. Are you going to change my feelings? But I prayed. I said, God, I don't love the way I feel. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to remember this person and I feel this type of way. I want to be free. I want peace in my spirit, in my mind. And it happened. I don't know how. So, yes, if you do your part, you know you have forgiven. Then let God do his own part. Because, yes, he has to do it. He has to help you out. The Holy Spirit has to help you out. So, what kind of thoughts do you have towards them? Another thing is, think about it. If you happen to see this person in danger and you can help, would you be willing to help? Will you help them, or you're going to leave them? Ask, you don't need to, that situation doesn't need to come up for you to actually answer this question. Just be truthful to yourself, be honest. Will you? No, there are things where somebody can do something to you and you just decide, to just forget about them and all of that. But if you actually do see them in danger, would you give a helping hand when you can actually help? Then another thing is, how do you talk to others about them? It's different when you're talking about them to educate people or use as an example in order to enlighten others. But how do you talk about them, especially to your friends? Do you like talk about them with so much hate, rage? Like, yes, maybe they did. You're going to tell people, yes, this is what he did to me. But are you saying it to bring them down? Or you're saying it, what's your intention? Or you're saying it to actually enlighten people or educate people or as an example? So, what is your intention? So, that is very important. You ask yourself these questions because it will help you to know if truly you're forgiving someone. That's it, guys, on forgiveness. I hope I've been able to at least speak to, even if it's one person that actually got something from this video. And remember that you feel bad, you still feel hurt after forgiving someone, doesn't mean that you haven't forgiven the person. Also know that you are human, you make mistakes too. So how will you feel if God doesn't forgive you? No matter what the sin is, no matter what the hurt is, you're also human. So who are you not to forgive? So yeah, I hope I've been able to bless you. And if you have any thoughts on forgiveness or what you think, whatever, make sure to put it in the comment section and like this video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.